How's it going, Brian?
I am well. How are you?
Doing good. It's a lot better way to have a meeting, I think.
I think so. Trying to get my Bluetooth earbuds working, but they don't want to do it. I want to join up.
You guys can use your uh, video if you choose to. You don't have to. Looks like everybody's fairly easy to determine who's who. So uh, mine will be up, but I won't be looking at it very much because I don't have it in line. But we're missing one.
Okay.
We're missing Colby, I think. So as soon as Colby gets on, we'll go ahead and run with it. And give him a couple of minutes to get on.
Ivan.
Mommy, alligator says,
I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. You can come back and unmute yourself if you need to say something. I hope everybody knows how to work Zoom, so maybe so. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Like I say, I've got everybody muted, so if you need to say something, don't hesitate. I think there's a chat feature. This will be the first official Zoom meeting I've ever hosted, so don't expect much. I've been on several, but don't know all the ins and outs and how everything works. We've cut it down to an hour this year because that was, well, actually, I had it down to 40 minutes, but it's not going to work. So we had to go ahead and buy Zoom to make this work. But we're going to do it in an hour because I've still got to get a tremendous amount of meetings done. So my name is Eddie Bolton. I'm the president of DC Inferno Soccer. You guys are the 6 and under boys coaches. You'll never know how much we appreciate you stepping in here and helping us because we couldn't do it without you guys. I guess I'll run through the manual. I'll share my screen. That way you guys can see what's up. Just drop a note in chat or, like I say, just unmute if you need to ask a question as I go along. I've done this for several years now, so I'll blow through it pretty quickly. Let's see here. All right, I'll pull that over closer. So this is the manual that I'll end up sending you a copy of. And it's got on the left side here, you can see it's got important contact information. We'll have my phone number, Michael Farmer, Jared Corley, Tom Shanklin, Steve Cornelius. That's our personal cell phone numbers. Try not to give those to parents. If you got a parent that needs to get in touch with us, have them use the soccer phone. That number is listed there. Wells Valley Rec Center is going to be limited amount of help. They're not going to know everything that we know when it comes to games, locations, any questions that you have. But we will try to keep them updated as far as poor weather, so we know, so that if you need to get in touch with them or your parents need to get in touch with them, you can. Below, in case of poor weather there, you can see we use the Remind app. You can text at DCI report to 81010 on a cell phone to join and receive updates. That's going to keep them. We're going to send just about everything we do across the Remind app, but that's the easiest way for us to hit as many people as possible when games get canceled for weather. You can go to timesjournal.com after 2 p.m. That's one of the local newspapers here. You can go to Facebook, DC Inferno Soccer, if you've liked it. If you're not on Facebook, you can go to dcinfernosoccer.com. We'll go across it or go to that website in just a minute. We do try to announce it at schools, but as we spread out and we get more and more schools involved, it's pretty hard for us to try to get in touch with 10 or 15 different schools. And we have kids coming from all over the county. We've got them really from a remarkable distance coming in here to play. So we know we'll make it locally at Fort Payne, and we'll try if we can, but don't always depend on that. And you can always call any number listed above if you need to. Weather's going to be the hardest thing for us to deal with, normally is. Coaching incentives will be on the next page. It'll tell you what you can receive. I did not invite the assistant coaches to this meeting because I didn't know just how complicated that would be. So I just left it at head coaches. But as a head coach, you'll get a family pass for yourself and your family. You'll get a coaching jersey that'll match your team. And if you're coaching multiple teams, we will schedule around so that we don't have you having to choose which game you're going to go to. As an assistant coach, we'll let them in for free, and we'll give them a coaching jersey as well. Makes it a lot easier, especially with the young kids and knowing who they're going to. You'll see the sponsorship level down below. I'm not going to go through everything here, but we treat sponsorship as an advertisement. That's what we try to do for our sponsors. We try to get as much advertising and get their name out there as much as possible. So that'll tell what you get with that. Rules and regulations. I'm not going to go through every one of these. This is one of the longer steps of this coaches meeting. So what I'm going to do is record a couple of videos and I'll email them to you, or I'll email you a link to them and you can go to them and actually check them out after this. I hate to burn the time up doing that on a short meeting like this. On the left here, you'll see that this is the layout of our complex. The railroad tracks and Fort Payne High School are at the top of the page. Galt Avenue is at the bottom of the page. When you come in the double gate here, or you come in the ticket booth, your concession would be over here. And that's the field layout we're going to use this year. When you walk in, it'll be just like last year. You'll have 4 U6 fields. On the next 2 fields you run into will be U10 fields. And all the way against the fence will be the U8 fields. And everything's going to be numbered from the high school to Galt Avenue, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all of it will start. Field 1 will be at the railroad tracks. Obviously for us, it's important that we make things as easy as possible on these U6 kids. We have in the past put them away at a distance. We have put them closer to the restrooms now. that makes things a little bit easier on parents. It was a little sketchy in years past because softballs could actually be hit on to field 1 and field 2 during live softball games, but they have told us this year that they will not be allowing games on that softball field on the nights that we're playing. So it shouldn't be an issue anymore. When we get to the practice schedule, you'll notice field 1, field 2, field 3, and field 4. That's the fields here that we're actually looking at. There's a south end and a north end. South, obviously, on the left. North, I'm sorry, that's wrong. North is going to be on the left. South's going to be on the right. I'll have to correct that before I send this out to everybody. That's just north and south by a compass if you were standing there holding it. The next page will have the layout of the field that you'll be playing on, be what you call the actual lines. Spectators and coaches, we would prefer to be on opposite sides. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Of anybody who has, or of any of the teams that have anybody coming to watch them, these are generally the most populated games. We're still investigating and we'll know by the end of the week exactly how we want to set this up for games, and we'll let you know. We want to try to maintain some social distancing if we can. We really don't want the parents to be shoulder to shoulder if we can avoid that. I think that pretty well wraps that up on the field size. You'll see the next page here will say, and it's turned up sideways. Let's see. Yeah, this page on the left. It'll say 4v4 playing time versus roster size. We play 4 versus 4 with no goalkeepers at U6. And this will help you if you've got 4 kids there. It'll show obviously at the bottom, 4v4 roster of 4, all 4 kids will be in the entire game. Once you start getting into a single kid out or 2 kids out, we want to keep things as fair as possible and playing time as equal as possible. So this is just kind of a guide to help you go by for the different players, which ones will be in. You don't have to specifically go by that, but understand you're going to try to keep it as equal as you can. Parents will start looking at who's getting the most playing time. So we try to keep as much equal time, playing time as we can. This is a little bit quick going through this, but like I say, we're going to hit it hard. This is the game lineup card that you'll get. You'll go ahead, everything in red on this sheet is what you'll be filling out on your player card. And you'll see here will be a pretty well true size card that you'll actually get. We don't keep score at this age group, but you will want to put all your players on there because we will use a referee, and it'll be a young referee, what we'll call a junior referee. And they'll keep an eye on your substitutions. They're going to try to make you keep it as fair as they can. They're not going to know what you did last game, so you're going to have to keep up with that on your own. If you got somebody who's not there, mark through that. Go ahead and put them on there and mark through it. This helps us track if there's any issues. We can go back and look and tell the referee what they may or may not have marked or paid attention to. You don't necessarily have to put your opponent or their coach or the color, but you can. We use Challenger for our uniforms, and they give us access to a website called thechallengerway.com. That's what you see on this page. And you'll sign up for this. You'll end up having to put a credit card number in there, but it will not charge you. It will give you a $79 credit when you put that in there. It'll zero itself out. When you use promotional code CW2020, as it shows right there on that flyer. You get access to it for a year. All of our coaches have access to it, and you can give that to your assistant coaches, and they'll get access to it. It's just one of the perks that we get for buying all our uniforms from Challenger. There's a ton of drills on there. You can see what they've got here. There's tons of coaching information, how to do practices, what kind of games to do by age group. There's just a ton here, more than you can fit into the amount of practices that we'll have, because we'll have 6 one-hour time slots for practice. Let's go see if we have any questions, any comments. No, feel free to unmute yourself. Say anything that we need to say. All right. I'm going to go ahead and unmute. So if you got things going on in the background and you have to mute yourself, you can. But we're going to be communicating, and it looks like I'm asking you to unmute. So I don't think that I can. I think you have to hit the button to unmute yourself. So this is the jersey we're going to use this year. It's the Mohican. It's brand new with Challenger. These are the colors that we'll have that available in. We do want to keep away from similar colors. We've only got 8 teams, so we really don't want a color number 5 green and a color number 20 green. We stay away from color number 4 because that matches our referee jerseys. We don't want something like a color number 6 and a color number 29. That we'll just have to take it as we go, but if you get too many similar colors out there, the kids just can't tell each other apart. So we want to do what we can to stay away from that. And I've placed the order up here for the way that we'll pick our uniform colors. I just randomly generated those off the internet. We normally do a playing card, but I can bring playing cards to everybody, and then we'll reverse that order. When we get to practices, we'll start at the bottom and go up. Everybody will get 2 team practices. They'll be an hour long. We will ask that you try to wrap that up, maybe 5-10 minutes early if you can. That way we get people out without meeting people head on coming in. That's one thing that we feel like will be an issue as far as the COVID and social distancing that we'll have to contend with. So we're always going to be looking for a better way to keep people from having to just pass face to face. All right. So I'm going to bring in the rosters that I set up. What I've done is based on parent ratings, which at this level are generally untrue, and they don't really matter. This is a crapshoot at best with 6 and under kids, because you've got 4 and 5-year-olds. Because of the way we play this, we don't do true 6-year-olds. We do kids that were born in 2015 and 2016. So you'll have a 3-year-old. You could have a 3-year-old on your team that turns 4 years old after the season because they were born in 2016. You won't have, it'll be 3, 4, and 5s. You won't have any 6-year-olds because we don't play across into the next year. 6-year-olds will not come into play until after December 31st. So if we played in the spring, then we might have a possibility of some issues there with some older kids, but we don't the way that we set it up. What I would ask you to look for, I generally try. Can everybody see that? Is that big enough? No. I know anybody looking on their phone, this might be difficult. So what I may do is, I can't do but one at a time, but I might be able to blow it up a little bit farther, and I might be able to make the text a little bit bigger. That might help just a little bit. If it's not, like I say, I can probably zoom just a little bit more to that. I think we can get. Can everybody see that fairly well? Okay. There's no order in which I do this. I just grab kids, grab coaches, put them on, make sure everybody has their child. Please make sure that you got your child on your team. I think I'm okay on that, but if you see something that I've missed, let me know. Some of the parents, since we did this online, did not complete the registration as much as they should have, so I don't have a rating on every single child. If you know these kids and we've loaded one of these teams up too much, please let me know so I can fix it, because there's nothing more dreadful than to have 3 or 4 kids out there that know what they're doing and one kid on another team that might know what they're doing. We want it to be as fair as possible. It'll never be equal, but we want it to be as equal as possible. You'll notice a lot of ones on there. I don't know all these kids particularly, but I can't rate them myself. We go by what the parent says. We consider 5 average. A lot of folks just come in and say, well, my kid's never played before, I'm going to make them a 1. In my mind, a 1 can barely kick a soccer ball. These are all not 1s. So take that as you look. I put a number down here at the bottom where it all added together. Those are not going to be any indication of what your team's going to look like. As you glance across it, if you see what looks like it's going to be a strong team because of kids that know how to play, then let me know. I did try to keep it as equal as I could too between olders and youngers. Anything above the line at this 2015 mark are the 5-year-olds this year. Any below this will be 4-year-olds from this year. That's where you could have some young 3-year-olds that don't quite turn yet. But that's the way that they're set up on here. So everything stayed pretty well equal. Josh's team is still missing a player. And I've got some on the waiting list that I will come in and fill in with. There's always a chance if I have multiples that come in late that I could add one more team to this. For you guys, it's just one more game, so I don't think that'll be an issue. I will try not to let somebody stack up a team just because they waited to the last minute. Anybody see any problems with the way that those teams are laid out? Anybody see somebody that they know that they needed for any carpooling? It's a cousin. I mean, for any reason, because not everybody on here knew they were going head coach until I called them and begged them to. So feel free to speak up if you see anything needs to change. All right, I'm assuming that means we're good. That's what I was looking for, so I can see everybody. Well, with that being the case, we'll go on into setting up our practices. For anybody that I didn't tell this to, we will start practicing the Tuesday after Labor Day. If you set up a practice that would normally be on a Monday, then we've got less teams this year. It shouldn't be any issue for us to be able to put a makeup location just for the Tuesday if you wanted to do a normal Monday, and then you would retract back to that on the following Monday. We don't want you to miss any practices because you're going to get 3 weeks of practice at 2 practices a week. That'll be 6. And then we'll start games. We'll have 5 weeks of games with 2 games a week. So it'll be a total of 10 games. We hope nothing gets rained out. If it does, we'll try to make them up. We play all the way up to the end of October, so there's always a chance that we will lose games. We just never know what Mother Nature's going to do for us. We got the best intentions in the world, but we do what we can do. All right, I'm going to move. If everybody's good with that, I'm going to move that off the screen so that we can be looking at the field layout and the practices. I've got my team order here, so I'm going to pull that off that page also. And I'm going to put our field layouts back down there. All right, let's begin with uniforms. I'll zoom in on this so that you can see those colors. I will try to tell you what that color is if you have trouble with it. Bear with me, let me print it so that I can look at 2 things at once. All right. Excuse me. This is the first meeting, so all the kinks get worked out right now. All right, so it looks like team 1 is going to get the first uniform pick. That'll be Armando.
Yes, sir.
What color would you like?
Let me get number 8.
Number 8 is gray.
Yes, sir.
Charcoal, rather, excuse me. All right, bear with me 1 second. Second choice will be Jose Rocha. Is it Rocha or Rocha?
Rocha.
Rocha. Jose Rocha.
Yeah, I would like to get number 9.
Number 9 should be navy.
Navy blue, yeah.
All right, the next choice will be Dixon.
With 10.
Number 10 is orange. I don't know if it's clear in that or not, but I had an issue last year, so orange is what you want, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I had a melon for red issue that wasn't very pretty, but taught me to always ask that question. Next will be Mickey Harrell.
We'll take 30.
30 is cobalt, okay?
Yep.
All right. team 4 is Danny Williard.
I'll take number 1.
I want to be red. All right, team 2 is Kobe Chadwick. Did he ever join us on here? He must not have. I hope I didn't bail out and leave him out, but I don't see where he tried to join, so we'll just go with what we got. I'll ask him at some other point. Team 3 will be Brian Northcutt.
We will do 18 if that's all right.
18 is black. I don't think black and charcoal will be a huge issue. If it is, we may have to throw a penny on some of the kids, but boys tend to like the darker colors, so we'll deal with it.
Okay.
Number 18. And then team 8 is Ryan Shankles.
How's 22?
22 works for me. And that is silver. All right. Easy enough. Any problems with there that you see? Anybody change their mind all of a sudden? No? Okay. We'll step next to the practice schedule. And what I generally try to do is get both of those up on the screen. Sorry for that. Not sure how to force it into what I want it to do here, but. All right, here we go. So if you'll notice, you've got a north and a south. Like I say, reverse this in your mind. The north side will be the side closest on the fields to the left-hand side. As you walk straight in, you'll hit the north side of the first field. The south side will be on the opposite side, and I'll get that fixed. We flip this thing around every so often, and it messed me up, or I didn't realize it. With no more than we've got, I'm not gonna, let's just go ahead and pick both practices at the same time because it's all wide open. This is the first one. So let's just go ahead and go with it. Ryan, you want to go ahead and pick your practice dates and times? We've got a time slot for this age group generally at 5 and 6. We try to get them out of there so that they don't have a practice at 7. That way the young ones get a chance and go on to bed as soon as they can.
This is all starting on the 8th, correct?
Correct. So, I mean, if you pick Mondays and Tuesdays for your practices or Mondays and Thursdays, then go ahead and tell me just for the Tuesday which field, if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to do the second practice that week, you don't have to. But
let's do so I can do that Tuesday at 6.
Does it matter which field, north or south?
Yeah, it don't matter to me.
All right, we'll put you on the north. That'll be the first one that they walk into.
And then do I pick my second day?
Yes.
Let's do Thursdays at 6.
All right. Bear with me 1 second here. Let me get this the way it's going to be. That way I don't have to keep fighting it.
All
right, same field Thursday?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. If we can do it on the same field, it does make things simpler.
Sí, es que no están. Pero estos son.
I hate to let y'all or make y'all sit there while I fill this out, but it tends to work better that way. I may have one even better than that. Bear with me a second. I do actually. I've got the spreadsheet. It'll be a lot simpler for me to put it in here. So, boys. All right. Does that sound good or look good?
That's good to me.
All right. Team 3, Brian Norcutt.
We do 5 on both Tuesday and Thursday. It doesn't matter which field.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put you on field 1 also. All right, you'll be on the north end also. Be right as you walk in the gate. So
Okay.
Team 2 is Kobe. I'll get back to him. Team 4 is Danny Williams.
I'll take Monday and Thursday at 6.
Let's put you on field number 1 also, and that way you'll have somebody there if you want to practice against Ryan. You'll have somebody that you can scrimmage against. Because with the young ones, sometimes that's the easiest way.
Sounds good.
Do you want to go ahead and schedule a Monday practice for a Tuesday practice for the Tuesday after Labor Day?
No.
Okay, so you'll just go one time that week?
Okay.
All right. Team 4, Team 7, Mickey Harrell.
We'll do Tuesday and Thursday at 6.
All right, I'm going to put you on field number 2. It'll actually be, Brian, I told y'all, you and Ryan wrong. Field 1 is the farthest field away. That's the field here that we're looking at. So it's not right when you walk in the gate. Mickey, I'm going to put you on field 2.
Okay.
And it'll be the north end, so it'll be the concession stand or the softball side.
Okay.
Y'all will have to forgive me if my keys are too loud through the speakers. Josh Dixon.
Tuesday and Thursday at 6.
All right, I'm going to put you on the field opposite of Mickey. That way, if you guys need to scrimmage or whatever, you'll be able to. That'll be on field 2. Jose?
I'll do Monday and Thursdays at 5.
All right, I'm going to put you on field 1.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I put that on the wrong side. Are you going to want to try to do anything on the Tuesday after Labor Day, or are you just going to go one time that week?
I'll just go one time that week.
Okay. All right, so you'll be on the south end of that field. It'll be the field on the high end of the field.
Okay.
All right. Armando.
Yeah, let me get Monday and Thursday is at 5.
All right, we'll put you on number 2. And are you going to try to do anything that for a second practice the week of Labor Day?
No, sir.
All right. Y'all are way too easy to deal with. So Mondays and Thursdays. That should have everybody except Colby. Did I miss anybody? If I did, speak up, unmute. If not, that pretty well concludes everything that I had. There is a video that I just recorded a few minutes ago that I'll go ahead and email out to everybody, and it's going to take you through everything that you've got to do to coach. Me begging you to coach is just the first step. Beyond that, we have to do a background check. This is our website that we're working with right now. When you come in, we're going to try to keep everything updated here as much as possible. This goes and links straight back to Facebook. We're trying to make sure we put everything out on Facebook as accurately and as quickly as possible. But you'll go to the coach manager page, and I don't know if you can see that little green hand or not, but I made it as big as I could make it without not being able to stand it. You'll go to that page, you'll go to Rec League, and you'll go to Recreational League Coach Registration, and that will step you through what you've got to do. There's actually 3 steps that ASA and their risk management protocol makes us do. That's a background check, which is a no-brainer. It's easy enough. There's a help file when you click on the red this that'll take you on an article how to set everything up there. Safe Sport is an abuse prevention program. If you were a coach last year, you only have to do a refresher course, but everything's set up off of email, so you got to make sure that you put the same email in that you used last year. If you're going to use a different one, there's ways around it, but if you're going to use a different one, you need to go ahead and fix the new email in your profile, and then we'll work that out with Safe Sport and get that uploaded. Anyway, Safe Sport's an abuse prevention program. It teaches you signs to look for kids that are getting bullied, kids that are having issues at home. As a coach, you're going to be one of the first lines of defense, I guess. Kind of like a teacher, you're going to be the person who's able to recognize that fairly easily. And it tells you what you should and shouldn't do. It makes sure that you understand the process from your side of what you can and can't do as a coach. Coach Safely was passed in 2019. Last year, it's quite different than it is this year. This year, it takes the place of heads-up concussion. So it's a little bit more to it, but it's simply watching videos and then passing a test at the end. I also need you to go in and click the recreational coaching link here, which will pull up another page, maybe. I don't know what's going on with the Safe Sport or the Got Sport website lately, but the past 2 days, evidently everybody's slamming it because it is slow. Just be patient with it. It'll normally flip over. It actually crashed for a few minutes last night. So if you're not logged in, it'll come up to a screen that says log in. If you haven't logged in before, you'll just put the email address you want to use, and then you'll click forgot password, and then you'll be able to set yourself up from there. If you are in already on the registration for your kids, then this is basically what it'll look like. You can view whatever your registration email was. It'll come up as view. Everything else is register. So that's my 2 kids, and then another account that I use. You'll click register here. You'll have, and then the site's down, of course. I've gone through that on the video so that it's a little easier to see what you're actually going to do, to kind of walk you through it. So those help files are there, but there'll be a video that I send out a link to. Other than that, that's really all I got. I'll send you I'll send you the coaching manuals, and I'll record a video going over the rules for 6 and under and what our expectations are. If you have any problems, if you have any questions, feel free to get back with me, and we'll go over them. Anybody got anything else? Well, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you helping us out. I appreciate everything that you'll do for these kids, because we can't have a program without you guys. I'm going to end the meeting and roll on to the next one, because I've already got people logging in there. If you need me, text me. If I don't get back with you immediately, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed.